Hi, it's Carol Turner from Coldwell Banker Preferred. I'm the Director of Career Development. Jeremy Bowers and I today are going to be doing a listing presentation. Jeremy Bowers is a top producing agent from a top producing team here at Coldwell Banker Preferred, and we're going to get started right now doing a listing presentation.
Sounds good.
Great.
Carol, thanks a million for having me over today. I really appreciate it.
I look forward to it. I'd like to see what you have to say.
Excited to help you out. Had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
We were talking about the buy side and the list side over the phone, and I'd like to start with the buy side.
Sounds good to me.
Wrote down some important questions. Do you mind if I ask these?
Go right ahead.
Okay. The buy side situation. What's most important to you about moving?
Well, as you know, I'm an attorney, and I spend all my time in the city, and this commute is just killing me.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
the commute?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, you know what? That's where my life is now. I spend all my time down there on the weekends and the evenings, and I don't want to have to come out to Ganjak, and
Okay.
I want to stay down where the action is.
Okay. And what would that do for you if you're able to do that?
More free time, a little more life. I work all the time, so
Okay.
I get a little bit more free time.
Okay. So basically lifestyle change, save the time with the commute,
Yeah.
and get to do the things that you want to do that you don't get to do now.
Exactly.
Okay. How much time do you think that would save you each day?
Wow. 35 to 40 each way.
Okay. So you're looking an hour to an hour and a half a day. For a week, you're looking 5-10 hours.
Wow,
In
I
a
didn't
week?
look at it that way. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a lot, isn't
Okay.
it?
All right. Good. That's exciting. Can you describe your dream home for me?
Well, you know, I live in a townhouse now, and I am looking for low maintenance, safe walking environment to and from work or nearby public transportation, newer, updated appliances. You've
Okay.
got it. Just so it's low maintenance. I can come and go as I please.
Okay. Low maintenance, a newer house, updated home.
Yep.
Okay. Just move in and get to your lifestyle
You got it.
and work. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm on the same page. If you found what your perfect home would, what would you be willing to pay for it?
I don't have an answer for that right now. I'm not sure.
Okay. And have you been pre-qualified? Have you talked about mortgages yet with an agent?
I know pretty much what I can afford.
Okay. Okay. What areas are you most interested in?
Well, you know, my office is in Center City. So any nearby town, I mean, obviously I can't afford some places there, but Old City, maybe Queen Village, one of those places.
Okay, good. All right, so around down Center City, Queens Village area? Okay. And on the mortgage side with the mortgage rep, has anybody gone over with you the closing costs, what it would cost per month for a house, and see what you're pre-approved for?
Well, you and I talked earlier a little about 400,000. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Okay, but you haven't officially got pre-approved yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, we can talk about that later.
Sure.
Okay, good. And why are those areas important to you? Center City, Queens Village?
That's where everything is for me. My friends, all the activity, the restaurants, you know, the lifestyle I'm going to lead right now.
Okay, good, good. Okay, I'm on the same page. So lifestyle.
Great.
Okay. How soon would you like to be there, Carol, in an ideal world?
Well, it would have been great before the holidays, and I don't think that's going to happen right now.
Right.
I'm worried about that because I don't feel like trudging through snow to move myself in and out. So as soon as we can get it is better. the
Okay.
best. Yeah.
So ASAP. Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. How much house shopping have you done so far, Carol?
Friends have been to show me places. I haven't really done anything official yet.
Okay. All right.
I am very busy.
Have you seen anything you like?
Well, there's some things. I mean, there's a couple condos I like.
Okay. Pretty much online shopping, open houses, things like that? Okay. Do you have a particular buyer's agent, any contract or anything like that with the buyer's agent?
No, not yet.
Nope. So it's just been online browsing?
Doing my own thing.
Okay, good. Okay. Carol, I'm comfortable with the buy side for you.
Great.
I'd like to just go over an example with you why
Sure.
the benefit is today to buy a house.
Okay.
An example right here, if you bought that $400,000 house,
Right.
no taxes included, no mortgage PMI, this is just a straight, the mortgage, the principal and interest, you'd be around
Right.
$1,200, right?
That's right.
$400,000 at 6%, if the interest rates went up 2%, what would your payment be?
$1,800. Geez, that's a lot.
Yep, and what would your savings be per month,
$600.
right? I calculated over 1 year is $7,200, right? Over 10 years, what would you save?
72 grand.
And then take that times 3 if you live there 30 years,
That's a lot of money.
right? It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of today's marketplace
So let's
to buy.
just get something now, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm comfortable on the buy side helping you there.
Okay.
On the listing side, I want to talk to you about that next.
Okay.
Just want to talk about some of the things we went over the phone.
Right.
You talked about you wanted to move to this city, right? We just
Yes.
talked about that. You really want to be there as soon as possible. Right now, you called me off a sign, but you're debating about doing it for sale by owner.
Correct.
And sales price, you'd like to be around $385.
Yes.
You came up with that because you talked to Bob Jones, a realtor, about 60 days ago, right?
I did.
Okay. And why'd you decide to sell yourself? Is, you said you're maybe debating that just to save some money.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I am an attorney. I can do this myself.
Yep. Okay. And if you were to list, which agent would you list with? You said you were debating Bob Jones. You kind of liked what he had to say.
Yep.
Okay. And how'd you happen to pick Bob Jones? You said was off a sign call too, right?
Exactly. I'm looking around Conshohocken. Who does the most business here?
Okay. What would you expect a listing agent to do to get your house sold?
Well, get the job done. I don't want you to bother me with a lot of stuff. I'm a little too busy. I want you to get the job done, get it sold, so I can move on.
Okay. So you want us to handle it, take care of it, get you top dollar, and get you to the city in the time you want.
You got it.
Good. You said around 385. Ballpark, you said you owed around 300,000, right? So we can do some estimated closing costs for you.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Carol, thanks for letting me look at it earlier, the house. I was comfortable after I looked at the house. Number one, basically, do you absolutely have to sell your home?
Well, honestly, I don't have to sell this. I just want to.
Okay, all right. So you want to sell the house. Will you price your house to sell, or do you want to keep it on the market for a long period of time?
Look, I want to get the most for this. I'm not going to give this away.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
You want top dollar,
Right.
what the market will bear in today's market.
You got it.
Good, same page. All right, so at the end of our conversation tonight, one of three things can happen.
Okay.
Number one, you have the opportunity to list your home with me.
Sounds good.
Number two, you'll decide not to list your home with me.
Possible.
Or number three, Carol, if I can't help you based upon this conversation, I'll let you know that I can't help you.
Great.
Fair?
We are on the same
Good.
page.
Great. All right. There's two issues that we have to look at tonight. Number one, the price we select on your property.
Okay.
Number two, your motivation.
Well, and what I'm going to pay you.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
All right.
Totally fine. The price, we'll talk about in a little bit. The motivation. We talked about your motivation. The reason why you want to move is you want to save that time in commuting. You want the lifestyle change of where you can enjoy the restaurants, bars, and shopping and be with your friends.
Yes.
And basically save probably 40 hours a month and spend that in personal time instead of in traffic.
You're right.
Okay? Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, good. I prepared what's called a comparative market analysis. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the prices of what's selling and what's not selling.
Bob Jones did one of those for me.
Yep.
Yep.
Were you aware that 50% of the houses are not selling?
No, he didn't mention that.
Okay. 50% are.
What do you mean?
So 50% of the houses are selling
that are
right
listed
now. Correct.
are not selling?
Yep, and 50% are not.
Wow, that's not really good.
Nope. But what we're going to deal with is the 50% that are selling.
All right.
Okay? That's the good news.
Yeah.
All right? The purpose of a CMA is to determine the value of the home in the eyes of the buyer. Okay? So the buyers are going to look at property A, property B. Property A is at one price and has features and benefits, and property B has a price and features and benefits.
Right.
We have to bring out all those features and benefits in your property, price it correctly, market correctly, and close the buyer to get them to buy your property.
Okay.
So we'll be talking about that in the CMA and comparing the houses, basically shopping them like we were in the eyes of the buyer.
Okay. So you're saying people are choosing for the features, and you're saying they're not necessarily getting more money for that?
Yep. A lot of times features and benefits will get the house sold, but might not always get them more money.
So you don't think my granite's going to make that big a difference?
Well, the good news, why you put that granite in, why did you put it in? For yourself or for the buyer? Or for
I
both?
put it in for me, but I thought it would be a good resale
Good,
feature.
that's exactly right. So in this case, that'll help you sell your property.
Okay.
That's the good news. I did the same thing with my house.
Okay.
So it's definitely good stuff what you have in the house going on right now. So they're going to look at your house and they're going to look at the features and benefits and they're going to compare price shopping. And when we do this CMA, please keep in mind let's both remove ourselves and look at the eyes of the buyer.
Well, all right.
Okay?
We'll see.
You don't plan on adding more features and benefits to the house, do you?
I don't have any time for that.
Okay, good.
I mean, unless there's something you suggest, at this point, I just want to move on.
Okay, all right. So what I've done is I've prepared an estimated closing cost sheet, and this is some paperwork.
Okay.
Okay. And right here, I have a little bit of information about us.
All right.
The second part is the CMA, which we
Great.
talked about. The third part is the evidence page. Carol, let's face it, anybody that comes out here is only going to tell you good news, right?
I hope so.
A little bit harder to put that good news in writing. Would you agree?
I would agree.
So we have all of our clients that will write testimonials in here today.
That's great.
Majority of our clients do write them. And just some people don't, just because they don't have the time. But we have a lot of examples in here for you. The people experiencing how we sold their house in 2010. Not 08, not 07, 06, in today's marketplace.
That. I didn't get that from Bob.
Okay, good. So that's right there, and you can take a look at that, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay, good. So let's take a look at the actives, if that's okay with you.
Certainly.
All right, we have 3 actives.
You mean these are currently on the market?
Yep,
right?
these are
Okay.
currently for sale. Property 1, we'll go through each individually.
Okay. Sure.
Have you been in property 1?
I have not.
Okay. And what's the address there?
That's 420 West 5th.
Okay. And the price?
385, 875. They're in the right ballpark
Yep.
with me, right?
And then square footage?
2016.
Okay. And how many bedrooms?
4,
Okay. Bathrooms?
2.5.
Okay.
They have one more bedroom than I do.
Yep. But it's small. It really doesn't help in this case. They cut up your 3rd bedroom and made it a 4th.
Oh, okay.
And how many days on the market?
100.
Okay.
It's just been sitting there?
Yep. So that's property 1, right? They're
Right.
asking 385.
Right.
Okay. Property 2, same. We ask you the same questions.
Right. It's 414 West 5th.
Have you been in it?
I have not.
Okay. The price?
384.5.
Bedrooms?
3,
Bathrooms?
2.5.
And how long on the market?
126. Are these like the 50% not selling? You're getting me nervous
Correct.
here.
Oh, we're not going to be one of them. Don't worry. We're going to be one of the 50% that are selling. That's the
Alright.
good news, Carol.
Okay.
All right. The 3rd one.
Right.
What's the property address?
621 Hallowell.
Yep. Price?
It's 379.9.
Yep. How many bedrooms?
3,
And how many bathrooms?
2.5.
Okay. And how long has it been on the market?
Another 135 days.
All right. So,
I'm seeing a pattern.
exactly right.
I'm not happy with this pattern,
Yep.
Jeremy.
And we'll talk about that, Carol. Make sure you're happy.
All right.
So, as you can see, they're ranging from 379,
Yes.
right, to 385.
Right.
And they're not selling, right?
No, they're not.
And they're on the market for, 4 to 6 months.
Right.
What would that do for you if you were on the market, say, springtime next year?
I have to consider whether I'm going to sell the house at all.
Okay. So, we don't want to be one of them, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about who we want to be.
Okay.
All right. So, there's 3 properties here.
Great.
Property A.
Oh, 419 East Hector.
Have you
sure.
been through this property?
I know these people. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
What did it sell for?
365.
Okay. How many bedrooms?
3,
And how many bathrooms?
2.5.
Okay. And how long on the market?
Only 94.
Okay. And what were they asking?
379.9.
Right. What were they originally asking?
Ooh, 389.9.
Did you notice when they lowered to 379, they got the offer?
I see that. Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yep. So that's property 1 of the solds. Second property address?
416 West 5th.
What's the price?
376.
Okay. How many bedrooms?
3 bedrooms
And how many baths?
and 2 baths.
Yep. And how long was it on the market?
14 days.
Okay. Now there was a seller concession.
What does that mean?
So basically, they gave seller assist back to the buyer so they could buy the property. And what did that sell for then? The seller netted what?
Well, I was really happy at the 376.
Yep.
I'm not really happy what you're telling me. 365?
Yep. And once again, they were asking the 375, 379 range, right?
Well, what do you think happened here?
Yep. What do you mean?
Well, why did they give $11,000 away?
The buyer needed a seller's assist to purchase the property. So at the end of the day, it's what the seller nets, right? So they don't really care at the end of the day is what they're netting, right? That's what you care.
Yeah, I wanted net 376.
Right. So property, let's see here. Property 1 netted 365, right?
Right,
Property 2 netted 365.
right.
Property address?
9 Nathan's Place.
Okay. How much it sell for?
360.
How many bedrooms?
3,
How many baths?
2.5.
Yep. And days on market?
How many is that? 169 or
Yeah.
69? 169?
Yeah, 169 days.
Wow, why did it take so long to sell?
Yep. Once again, that's what the market was doing. At that price, what did it sell for?
360,
Yeah, and the reason why is because they had originally listed it.
380, or
Right.
390.
Yeah.
380. Oh, wow, 384, I see.
So once they lowered the price, once again, what happened?
They sold it.
Right? Okay.
I think you're leading me down a path here.
Yep. Just, my job, Carol, is to tell you the honest truth. That's what you want today, right? Just
It
like
is.
you being a lawyer. Okay. So, solds are in what range?
360 to 365.
Okay. So, we have solds in a range of 360 to 365, And we have the actives around 385, right?
Right.
Okay. So as you can see, the actives are right now priced around 379, right, to 385.
Right.
Right. And we agreed you don't want to be that.
I don't.
Okay. So there's the actives and there's the solds. What I'd like to do, Carol, with you is go back to the buy side. Okay.
Okay.
That buyer example,
Correct.
you're saving roughly, because you have a 6% mortgage on your house right now, right?
Right.
Okay. So basically, we talked about you saving $600 a month
Right.
with buying in the city, right? And how much would you save over 10 years?
72 grand.
Okay, right? Now, what you're looking at right now, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little less than what you thought,
Yeah.
right? So right now, you can see the solds are 360 to 365, right?
Right.
And you really thought it was going to sell at 375, right?
Well, closer to 380, I was hoping.
So $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
I need the money to go down to the city.
Correct, and we can talk about that. So in the difference in the makeup is 72,000,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So you're going to make it up on the buy side. Now, guess what? There's even better news.
What's that?
You're going to make even more than that, because here's how. In today's marketplace, you're
Right.
buying at a low rate. And in the city, actually lost more value than Conshohocken.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you think I'm going to make out on the next house?
You could be buying a $400,000 house today that was $440,000, $450,000 before,
That's interesting.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
So that's what I'd like you to take a look at.
Okay.
So based upon that and the price, in the eyes of the buyer today, as you
Right.
can see, we need to be priced around 375 to get you a sold price around 360, 365. Would you agree?
I am agreeing to that. I'm going to be honest with you. I probably should think about doing this by myself, Jeremy. I
Okay.
mean, I can save the commission. I know how to buy and sell real estate. I am an attorney.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm going to start considering doing this myself. I mean, I told you
Okay.
that earlier,
Right.
but it's 22 grand.
Okay. Why would you want to do it yourself?
I'd like to make the extra money so I can put it in the next house.
Okay. So it's coming down from dollars and cents.
It is.
Okay. All right. Now, Carol, how many houses have you sold this year?
That's a good one, Jeremy.
Right?
I haven't sold any.
You haven't sold any?
No.
Okay. My recommendation would be look at statistics. You seem like you're a numbers person,
I am.
correct? Okay. Were you aware, once again, we were aware of 50% are selling, 50% are not. We
Right.
talked about that. But were you aware only 5% of the for sale by owners in the county are selling right now?
I was not aware of that. How do you know that?
Right. Ran the statistics, ran the numbers on the MLS, and it came back with the for sale by owners
So
are
you
selling.
ran these numbers?
Yep, I ran these numbers.
And only 5% are selling?
Yep. So if you had the opportunity to start a law firm,
Right?
and someone came to you and said you had a 5% chance of making it, would you invest your money in it?
Probably not.
Right?
Right.
And I don't want to see you do that now.
No.
The flip side to it is you could list our team who's selling 70 to 75% of their inventory. Now, which would you rather do?
It does make sense to do it with you,
Okay.
right? All right, well, if I choose to list with you, and let's say I am, why don't you do a little break for me? If I'm going to list my home with you and then buy my next home with you, why don't we cut the commission up on front? I'll be willing to pay you 5%.
Okay. All
On
right.
the
So you want to save that 1%.
I do.
So roughly around $3,500.
Well, it's a little something, isn't
Yep.
it?
And I can appreciate that. From looking from your position, I would think the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Good.
in how the market's working right now, I would not recommend it. Can I tell you why?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a lawyer. I'm a real estate agent, and you have a car salesman.
Okay.
Okay. At the end of the day, all three of us are salespeople.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're looking at dollars and cents,
Yes.
what we can make. So let's put ourselves in the eyes of a buyer's agent.
Buyer's agent. Okay,
Okay.
great.
A buyer's agent shows three properties. Okay. Property A and property B, the buyer likes both, but can't really make up its mind which one they like better.
Okay.
They're on the fence.
All right.
Property A is paying out 3%, and property B is paying out 2.5%.
Right.
So the difference in the pay, it says $1,000, and that agent does 25 deals in a year, right?
Right.
What would that be a difference in income for the year?
25,000.
Right.
Well, wait a second. I know the rules. The rules and regulations say that an agent has to show it regardless of what they're getting paid. I know these rules.
Yep, and they will show both,
Okay.
but which one are they going to work harder to close?
Well, hopefully whatever one's the best one for their buyers.
Right. And unfortunately, a lot of times that doesn't happen, and let's face it, if you're a lawyer and you have 2 cases that you can represent, and you only have so much time.
Right.
And property case A has, 10,000 in it for you, and case 2 has 13,000, and it's the same amount of work, and both people need help, and you only have X amount of time.
Right.
Which one would you do?
I want the 13,000.
Right. Same thing in real estate.
You're answering my questions
Right.
pretty well here.
Okay. And the goal at the end of the day is to net you the most amount of money, right? Okay. So price you're okay and you're comfortable with, right?
Where are we going?
We're going to list at 375 to get you at 360 to 365.
Well, why don't we just stick it up to the 380?
Okay.
Can we do that?
Okay. Carol, a lot of agents might just do that for you. But here at Coldwell Banker Preferred, we want to tell you the truth and do what's right to get it sold.
Okay.
So
So you're saying that $5,000 will make it better for me to get it sold?
correct. And the reason why I'm saying that, Carol, if you look at these again, at the 385 point,
Right.
they're not selling, and 379. So why would you want to put yourself in that position?
Yeah, you're right.
You want to sell it, right? So we have to get the number 1 price point, which would be 375 for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're okay on the price there. How about marketing? Are you comfortable with the marketing?
Well, you sent me some wonderful stuff. What I wanted you to explain to me was this thing you said you're talking to all these people all day long. How do you find people to talk to all day?
Yep.
You're going to find a buyer for me.
Correct. So what we're doing is proactively marketing your property. You have 2 ways to market a property. You can be reactive or proactive.
Okay.
In anything in life, but
Right.
in this business, I'm looking at it from that aspect. Proactively, we're going to physically pick up the phones in the morning, dial out for 3 hours, and our team's going to dial out, and we each talk to 1,000 new people a month. So you're going to get a couple thousand new people a month.
Okay.
Option B,
Wow.
it would be just to let people come through
Right.
and call, and let them call in, right? And they don't talk to those, say, 4,000 people that our team talked to in a month.
Wow.
So which would you rather have? Someone proactively marketing your property, finding you buyers, calling the buyer's agents to bring them through your property, or agent B just putting on the MLS and hoping it sells?
Well, I like what you're doing. I mean, that's
Right.
very impressive.
Right.
Very impressive.
And that's the difference.
Right.
Are you comfortable with the marketing? That can help you sell your property?
I am comfortable with
Okay,
that.
good. How about closing skills? Are you comfortable that we can close the buyer to buy your property versus the other 50%?
Well, the way you're closing me right now, I bet you're pretty good with the
Okay,
buyers.
good. We'll do the same thing with the buyers.
Right.
The good news is when we close them on the home inspection and your price, that's more money in your pocket.
I believe you on that one.
So all we have to do right now is sign the contract, get you what you want and the time you want, and get you down the city when you want to be there.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. I really do. And I appreciate all that you're saying is that I still have another interview.
Oh,
One more
okay.
interview coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to sign anything right now.
Okay.
Okay. And it's not that I think you're
Right.
you're doing really well.
Right.
You're high on the list.
Right.
But I've got one more interview.
Okay. Let's review this again, Carol. We
Okay.
talked about the overview of real estate.
Right.
Number 1, you have is price.
We got that.
You're comfortable. So agent A, agent B, and agent C all have the same houses out there for sale that are sold. We all use the same database, right?
Okay. Right.
So the next agent who comes in tomorrow, right, is going to have the same numbers that I have.
Well, I'm guessing that. I don't know that for a fact.
We all use the same system.
Okay.
That's the good news.
Okay.
So there's nothing else out there that could make your house worth any more money.
All right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. The marketing. Are you comfortable that our marketing can sell your property?
I like what you have to say. However, maybe someone else has a creative idea. You never know.
Okay. And then the next one, closing skills. Are you comfortable our closing skills can close it?
I am pretty comfortable with
Okay.
that. Right.
All right. So what other questions or concerns do you have, or what else could another person do for you?
I don't know. I just thought that maybe I should have the third interview.
Right. Well, if we're the right solution now, I don't want to see you lose that opportunity.
Right.
And I want to get this property on the market tomorrow and not lose a day
Okay.
and get your property sold. Because you said to me, there's a couple important things to you. Number 1, you want top dollar for your property.
Right.
And I feel very confident we can get that for you from talking to you.
Right.
Number 2, you said you wanted to be in the city in the time frame of the next 3 to 4 months, right?
Yes.
I don't want to lose another day for you because I want to make sure you get that to the city,
Right.
which we talked about what that would do for you if you got to the city.
Well, have the lifestyle I want, right?
If I can sell your house 1 week quicker, I can save you 10 hours, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I really don't know what to say to this other person. I've already scheduled the appointment.
Totally fine. Carol, believe it or not, this happens a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
So what happens is I call the other agent, I let them know to bring a buyer over, and they can help sell the property. That's the good news.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so no problem. I'll call them here in a little bit, let them know to bring over a buyer. The only thing you have to do now is sign the contract so we can get the process moving, so we can get you to the city in the next 3 to 4 months. So you just have to sign right here and we'll start the paperwork.
Wow, thanks so much.
Yep.
Great.